Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
If someone gives you $2,000 in cash to take to another continent and to give citizens in that country this money, and you don't have proof that that money was received by them, that's a problem. In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. You want him to pay $628?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, knock my socks off. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. The law talks about something may in fact be true, but can they prove it? And that's what's tough.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Joyce Fields claims the defendant stole from their church and pretended to be sick while on a mission trip to Kenya so she could vacation instead. Ms. Fields is suing Lisa Potter in the amount of $4,000.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Judge Eboni Thomas. Ms. Fields, you want $4,000 back from Ms. Potter, who went to Africa and didn't do what you feel she was supposed to do.
Yes, I do.
What was she supposed to do?
We sent her out to help the needy in the medical nonprofit organization, and she was to fulfill her duties as the medical doctors needed assistance and spiritual guidance, just simple things that she needed to do.
Mm-hmm. And Ms. Potter, you're a member of the church that Ms. Fields is the first lady, from what I understand, right? You're the first lady of the church.
Yes, I am.
Yes. How long have you been involved with the church?
For about 4 years.
4 years. Why this church as your church home?
It's near. It gave me, I was guided by the Spirit. I felt like this was my church home.
Okay.
I've been doing many things here. I love the church. I love the pastor. Mr. Fields is amazing. Pastor
You
Fields.
like Mr. Fields, Pastor Fields.
Yes.
Mrs. Fields, what's the relationship
Well,
with her?
I don't feel like she likes me. I don't even
Why
think
don't you think she likes you?
I mean, it's just like she has, I feel that energy. I mean, I cannot lie. I
Okay.
feel that energy. I do a lot of service in the church. I've done fundraisers. I've done a lot of things.
Let me
Was
know
that-
which event that you've done.
Well, you
would
know
love-
the events, because obviously if there were a group of people who were submitted, how many people were vying for the Kenya
Exactly.
trip? How many people were vying for it?
For the trip, we had between 6 candidates. We usually
And
select
everyone
one or two.
I was
presented
selected.
themselves in terms of this is what I've done,
Right.
this is what I think I can do, this is what I bring to the table,
And-
blah, blah, blah,
And
right?
she brought to the table a lot of research, which is really good. You know, you want a candidate who wants to know the area, who wants to get to know the area
Oh,
better.
you actually did research on Kenya?
I did.
What kind
I
of
got
research did you
familiar
do?
with where I was going to be, what type of things I would be doing.
And what did you think you were going to do once you arrived?
Well, I knew I was going to have to offer emotional support and
To-
be to some of the sick people, some of the mothers who maybe needed their child to be attended to and hold them. Just little things like that. Hold boxes, move things, just that's
Whatever
what I
needed
did.
to be done, you were
Whatever,
there to serve.
I would do it. Yes,
Okay.
whatever, which I did.
Ultimately, you were selected. The trip was for how long?
It was 2 weeks.
So for 14 days, you were going to be in a spirit of service.
Yes.
How long did you have to travel?
Yes, it was about 24 hours, not including layovers. It was a very long time, and it took about an hour to even get to the medical clinic. And we went straight into it. So I'm exhausted. I'm there, but I'm giving it my best.
Right.
That's what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
So that's exactly what I did.
And then what happened?
So good 6 days, I'm giving it my best, but around the last 2 days of the first week, I wasn't too responsive to the food. I'm not used to that food, and I had some issues, and I needed some rest. And unfortunately, I couldn't be of service. We actually were doing more than just being support to people and just being.
You were working.
Yeah, we were working. I even have pictures. I have pictures.
Let me see the
literally-
pictures.
yes.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the pictures. All right. The trip cost $4,000
The trip cost $4,000
just to send her.
To send her, but
You want that $4,000 back.
And
yes,
I may
because
add-
can I explain? So about $2,000 of that money was paid for her trip, for her flight, and for her lodging. The rest of the $2,000 was paid for donation. So it's a problem where
Wait. Hold up. As they say, hold up.
Hold on.
4,000 breaks down, 2,000 for the flight and the lodging. And the other 2,000 was just spending money?
It was donation money to the organization.
Yeah.
She didn't get that money.
She was supposed to bring the money along with her.
And then transfer it to them.
Exactly.
Did you transfer the $2,000 to them?
All of the money went exactly to what it was supposed to go to.
Do you have any reason to doubt that?
There was no evidence that she has.
Well, the other people that had gone, how were you able to confirm that they had transferred the money?
Well, previously we would get like a confirmation of email. Oh, we've received
something
the
in
donation.
writing. You never received anything.
And we didn't receive anything. So that
Did you get something
me.
in your possession when you gave this money over?
No, not that I'm sure of. I just knew to go there and that would be taken care of.
And this was in cash?
Well, for the donation, yes. There was, yes.
You gave her cash to give to them directly.
Exactly.
She should have had something showing proof that that cash was received.
Exactly.
You don't have that proof.
I don't have any proof.
You never provided that proof to her.
Well, yeah, I didn't have anything of a receipt of
You
that
see
either.
that's a problem.
Coming up on America's Court.
Being in that environment, it's like set up in a different way. So honestly, I would have assumed it got faxed to them because there is no way for me to communicate. Like there was no service
But
in
how
that
did you
area.
even know that the person that you gave the money to was a legitimate person?
And later,
In the email, I said it was going to be a zero waste event. Inside her truck was plastic forks, knives.
And you lost the sponsorship because she had these products inside her van.
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Joyce Fields, who is suing Lisa Potter for fraud.
If someone gives you $2,000 in cash to take to another continent and to give to those citizens in that country this money, and you don't have proof that that money was received by them, that's a problem.
I've entrusted her with that money.
Okay. What is this? So you stayed at some inn in Kenya, and I see the young children. Are these school kids that you're like helping them with their education?
Yes, those are a few of the kids in the community.
Okay.
Some of them, and we played
And then
around. And
what are you
Not in
digging?
any of the
X-ray
pictures.
center.
She's actually not in any of the pictures.
I took the pictures.
Well, how can
Thank
she
you.
be in the pictures and take the picture at the same time?
Your Honor, you gotta understand.
What, you think she would just went on the internet and said, oh, this image will do, this image will do, this image will do?
It just, everything has me questioning.
I understand, but I didn't spend that money. There is no reason for me to do that. Thank you. Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
I feel like
Your spirit.
my
Your spirit is not moved.
It's not moved by this.
Wow.
And
All right, so you're saying that she did what instead of providing service?
all right, so after that, so that was for about 6 days. On the 6th day, she emailed us back and said she wasn't feeling too well.
Okay.
And when she emailed us back saying she wasn't feeling too well, she ended up sending us a photo of the resort hotel that she was staying in.
That was this Masi Mara something hotel.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
And you have pictures, okay?
I have pictures.
Yes.
It's a...
Take everything you got.
Your Honor, I posted those pictures, by the way.
You posted them where?
Yes, I posted them on my Instagram. I actually was in the hotel I was reserving. After 2 days of just throwing up and vomiting and doing all of that, like, I just needed to relax. And that is actually from the window.
Is this the hotel that you were staying at?
Yes.
You living
Which
it
I
up?
paid for. I have the receipt with my debit card, by the
so
way.
you did it up nice. All right. And we are now accepting applications for the mission to Kenya. Oh, that was from the church. What is this invoice? Save the Kids. Charity donation.
That was the donation that she was supposed to bring.
That's the
This is from the
confirmation.
previous person. They gave you documentation like
Right.
this. You didn't provide an invoice to them? To the church?
I must have missed it, but I know that the money was given to them. I don't have no reason to take church money and like spend it on my leisure. Like I said, I paid for my place
What
and
type of work
everything.
do you do?
Me?
Yes.
Like in general?
Yes.
Well, I am pretty much a marketing.
Okay. Do you rent or do you own?
I rent currently.
You
I have a
rent.
loft. Yeah.
So you have a job. You pay bills.
Yes,
I take it you have a checking account.
I do.
Okay. That you just give somebody money in another country and don't get any sort of receipt back, that seems odd in light of your background as someone who's functioning and paying bills and
Well,
handling
honestly,
business.
Your Honor, that right there, because being in that environment, it's like set up in a different way. So honestly, I would have assumed it got faxed to them because there is no way for me to communicate. Like there was no service
But
in
how
that
did
area.
you even know that the person that you gave the money to was a legitimate person?
I just responded to whoever I responded to on the
Well,
mission. This is my first time going there.
Because
That's
the
what
second week you were vacationing and enjoying yourself. Did you ever send a message to them saying, I gave them this money, but they didn't give me a receipt back? Did you send that message? Because while you're posting all this stuff on social media, it seems like you could post that.
I assumed that was taken care of. I figured any information that's important should be faxed over or emailed. Like in that, they could have worked that out.
So the second, well, why didn't you just come back home if you knew you were there for 2 weeks to serve and you didn't want to do that anymore?
Well, I was already in Kenya. Like, I mean, after just relaxing and being all that and all of that. I just
You know
decided
that your airfare was paid for to do service. You're saying you weren't feeling well, but to just stay and hang out and then post pictures on social media and then not have a receipt for the cash and not be in any of the pictures where you're doing service, that's suspect. Either you're sick, which means I should go home, or I'm not feeling well, but I'm gonna enjoy Kenya.
I mean,
And what you opted to do is, I'm gonna hang out and enjoy myself because I'm already here. And that's what you did, which is fine. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, there are consequences to making that decision as opposed to the other decision. So the gavel will come down in favor of the plaintiffs in this case. One, because $2,000 is unaccounted for. As it relates to the other $2,000 for the flight and travel back, you did 6 days, you didn't do the other 8, church is entitled to an additional $1,000 for half the amount of time that you actually served. Your total judgment, Mrs. Fields, will be $3,000. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $3,000.
The church sent her on a mission trip, not on a personal vacation.
I did serve for 6 days. Unfortunately, I got sick. I wish I could have done more.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
I mean, is she supposed to close the door every time they walk in and out? I mean,
True.
that's asking a lot of someone.
You are correct.
And yet you're speculating that this is what she could have done to make me happy.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Chelsea Bondi claims she lost a sponsorship after the caterer she hired for a zero-waste event left her van door open, revealing single-use plastic food containers and utensils. Ms. Bondi is suing Corinne Terum in the amount of $3,000.
Ms. Bondi,
Yes, Your Honor.
knock my socks off. Go ahead.
Okay. My thing is zero waste. I promote and I give tips and tricks and easy ways for people to kind of move towards a zero waste lifestyle.
Got it. And Ms. Terum, you're not involved in that at all, but you came in contact with Ms. Bondi because of an event, right?
I own a vegetarian bistro, and I use local sourced produce in all my dishes.
Okay.
And she asked me to cater an event,
Okay.
which was zero waste, and I understood
It was a
that.
zero waste event.
Yes.
And this event was for what purpose?
It was just kind of a meet and greet, just subscriber party, like, hey,
Oh, the people
I
that
did
follow
it.
you,
Yes,
you're like,
I
let's come and
invited-
meet you in person and let's talk about ways that we can have less
Yes.
and less and less waste.
Exactly.
Where did we have the hiccup in terms of the two of you?
The beginning of the event seemed to be okay.
right.
I was setting up at the park, and then Corinne and her team showed up in her van to bring the plates of food out. But
Got it.
she had left her van doors open, and inside her truck was plastic forks, knives, to-go containers, straws, all of the things that
She's a caterer.
She is, but I wrote her an email. In the email, I said it was going to be a zero waste event, and
You have
that
the email?
I do.
Let me see that.
Right here.
Do you recall getting the email about it being a zero waste
yes.
event?
Oh, yes.
So you're not disputing that.
No. We
Okay.
discussed everything.
Who's Tom?
The sponsorship.
And you lost the sponsorship because she had these products inside her van.
It was that and the response to my vlog that went up.
Coming up on America's Court.
So the people who gave you the sponsorship opportunity, they read those comments and they said this isn't going to work for
Yeah,
us.
they pulled it.
Okay.
This is my livelihood.
You don't care about the comments so much as it is you care about the monies that you lost as a result.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Chelsea Bondi, who is suing Corinne Terham for $3,000.
Did any of the zero waste items that would have been offensive ever make their way to where publicly things would be displayed?
They were displayed on the way as you were walking towards my event. So because her doors were open, my followers were walking by and they saw in the van.
Are the doors open because she's transporting food in and out?
Yes.
I mean, is she supposed to close the door every time they walk in and out?
True.
I mean, that's asking a lot of someone.
You are correct.
And yet you're speculating that this is what she could have done to make me happy. As a result, the people who saw it, they were like, oh my God, this is a nightmare. This is outrageous. This is offensive. And then they started telling other people. Is that what happened?
Yeah, they actually took a picture of the inside of her van. They tagged me in it. And then once the vlog went up, they went and started writing hateful comments, which I actually included on my vlog.
Chelsea's not practicing what she preaches. She claims to be low impact, but the caterers she hired had a ton, capitals, of single-use items with her. Such a shame. You can't trust any of these influencers. Unsubscribing, which means I guess they're not following you anymore, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The internet is not forgiving.
No, it's ruthless. Wow. And so the people who gave you the sponsorship opportunity, they read those comments and they said this isn't going to work for us.
They pulled it.
Okay.
This is my livelihood.
You don't care about the comments so much as it is you care about the monies that you lost as a result.
Well,
I know that you want your readers to always be happy, but I got to tell you, some of the people that are the nastiest commenters are the biggest fans.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. Promotional consideration provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
You got to develop a thick skin. And sometimes, as long as they get your name spelled right, even the bad publicity, because that's a teachable moment even for you, right?
It's true.
You're making it a negative as opposed to, here I am trying to live this lifestyle. I fell short because I wasn't even thinking that I need to start being more specific with even who I choose as a caterer. Sorry to let you guys down. Do you know of any caterers? Let me do a post on all the caterers who are zero waste. I mean, you can spin that.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be this horrible thing that happened.
Right.
Because you're human.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to teach us all how to be zero waste, one of the lessons could be, let me find zero waste caterers. Right?
Yes.
But to hold her responsible is unreasonable. So based on the evidence and testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the defendant, Ms. Duran. Your matter's dismissed. Good luck to you. Case closed.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
Everything that left my van was zero waste. It wasn't my problem that her followers were snooping in my van.
Even if she had to have the single-use items in her van, she could have covered them with a cloth or something.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.